welcome to the podcast. Robert Stogner's Eye of Horus Productions, The Vampire. We enter a quickened world into the abyss. Blood-born Dark Lord, Vampire Legion. What is a vampire? Vampire, a corpse that rises from the grave during the night, often in the form of a bat, and for nourishment sucks the blood of sleeping humans. Various talisman and herbs supposedly advert vampires, but according to tradition, they can be destroyed only by cremation or stake driven through their hearts. Belief in vampires originated in ancient times and was especially widespread among the Slavs. I'm going to start by reading a short story that I wrote, probably 2002. You might have heard it because it's been published here and there. They have a narrator read it in a haunted house, etc., etc. But the story is called The Vampire, and here goes. You must be careful what you wish for sometimes, because life can show no mercy. Ye who enter shall be damned for all time. Come, all ye seekers of immortality and seekers of power, all who enter these gates. I am a viper, a leech, and I offer you these things. I do. For he who stands in my doorway shall be lost to my power for all time. In death, new life is born onto the earth to live in shadow as I do, and to take all life that passes these crossroads. The night is my domain, almost with a living, breathing pulse where magical powers beacon imagination. A story told from time to time about the vampire gives the world warning that I have existed for the last 800 years, though no life beats in these veins. You must be careful what you wish for sometimes, or life could take you to me. The dark, it separates the hunted from the hunter and keeps me from the day, but I can still taste the sweet taste of the sheep you shelter. Abandon all hope, trade your pain for immortality or truth for gray. Enter and become what I have became. The signpost up ahead reads, "A quickened world into the eyes of one lost. Become lost yourself. Live forever with a thirst that won't quench. Becoming a vampire is not just a gift. It's being forsaken forever and ever. Forever and ever. Forever and ever." The vampire myth legend always starts at a place in Romania called Transylvania. This place was home to one of the most ruthless rulers throughout history. We know him today as Dracula, meaning dragon. Dracula's real name was Vlad Tepes, and he ruled Transylvania in medieval times when he built the famous Castle Dracula. Transylvania is center of Romania, surrounded on three sides by the Carpathian Mountains. Vlad would instruct his army to impale, to run spears through somebody alive, and stand them up in the ground supporting the body. At his enemies along the path to Transylvania. He would sit amongst the dying and lob bread into the blood and eat it. Vlad once took several families and instructed the fathers to watch their wives and children be impaled in front of them. He then had his army march them up to build Castle Dracula. We all know the mythological Dracula in the movies today, the one that can't bear to look at sunlight or a cross. He is repelled by garlic and killed by driving a stake through his heart. But did you know that stories in Transylvania about vampires and most of their powers and weaknesses have been told for hundreds of years, even thousands of years? The story of Dracula was written by Bram Stoker, though he did much research on the Castle Dracula and the Romanian demographics. He didn't make anything up at all. It was all there for the taking. Evil is the Nosferatu, or vampire, who lies in the land far beyond the forest. By your own free will, let into your life, forever bound by his power. Millions of people journey to Romania to experience the castles and the beautiful landscape beyond the Black Forest. The vampire paralyzes its victim through his stare. Then he inserts his fangs into the neck of his host so he can suck the blood out of his victim. But what is blood, and why is it so important to the vampire? The Bible, Leviticus 17:14, for as for life of all flesh, its blood is identified with its life. Therefore I say to the sons of Israel, you are not to eat the blood of any flesh, for the life of all flesh is its blood. Whoever eats it shall be cut off. Blood is the representative of guilt. So will all of the oceans wash this blood clean? No, not even all the blood of a single man could turn the ocean from green to red. But its sin shall not be clean, even from an ocean. Now I'm going to read you something I wrote. It's called The Endless Blue. Be like water, conform to the journey ahead. The quest becomes endless, but the path comes to the point. Upon the sand, a glimpse of a land far away, separated by waves of time. Sunlight, sea water, and a motionless blue sky unfolds the journey for the eye to behold. The mind takes the step, though the senses behold a way to enlightenment. A vast, endless array of colors change from eye to eye as the diversity becomes waves upon the shore. Because water is itself from shore to shore, its mass becomes divided in its purest form as the mind bends to the point of obscurity. Drenched with the knowledge, we evolve to the point of conformity to be like water in its purest form. Robert Stogner's. Blood is a constantly circulating fluid providing the body with nutrition, oxygen, and waste removal. Blood is mostly liquid with numerous cells and proteins suspended in it, making blood thicker than pure water. The average person has about 5 liters, more than a gallon of blood. A liquid called plasma makes up about half of the content of blood. Red blood cells are known as electrolytes. They carry oxygen to the various parts of the body. They are most in number, constituting about 40 to 45% of blood. Then we have white blood cells. They are also called electrolytes. They are the soldiers of the body. They protect body systems from infections, diseases, fighting viruses, bacteria, and other such harmful invasions. Now I'm going to read you another story I did on blood. It's called The Blood Manifesto. The meaning of life is hidden in blood, bubbling over throughout time. A cold, sheltered quest of adverse innuendos condemns the journey to one's soul. It is said that the blood is the life, so shall life be the wedge between time that ends in one's death. Death shall give us life to the dead in vampirism, twisted reverse life force flowing backwards throughout eternity. A drop of blood falls into the ground and dries, then blown by the wind, waiting to be regenerated by water so it can again show the building blocks of life. A vivid red paints a full moon as a drop falls on a sacred scroll, unraveled to reveal the blood manifesto. Though no words contain in its body, it shows the beginning and end of time through its pulp that no longer reaches for the sun. Some who see shall say the cup is half full. Others hold fast that it's half empty. But in darkness, it just becomes a shade of black. Here within the blood manifesto, all within its yoke shall be quickened into a world of abyss contained in blood. Robert Stogner. Angels and Vampires. The story of the vampire did not start in Transylvania, Romania. No, it goes back to Egypt around the time of the Great Pyramid. At one time, a man prayed to the angels. They also had a form of writing to communicate with them. The world at this time was much more simple. If you needed love, power, wealth, you prayed for it. You see, the angels exist on a dimension closest to man, but they are in direct link to God. I don't know if you know this, but the angels aren't those fuzzy, warm creatures we see everywhere we go. Oh no, they are warriors of God to do his bidding. It is said that Michael, the archangel, can strike his enemies down before they can think of doing him harm. So, what do angels have in common with vampires? The story goes that a descendant of Adam, whose name was not written, and his army did battle with Nod and was badly defeated. It was also advised that his oldest son was killed in this battle. In anger, he struck a deal with an angel and asked for revenge. When he realized the power of the spell could not be used for evil, he cursed God, then desecrated a temple with his own blood. When he died, the townfolk noticed blood oozing out of a crucifix in the temple. The small town went up in arms over deciding whether he was evil or divine, and whether or not to bury him in the cemetery. The story advised that the town was split in two after a day and night. The body was smuggled out of the town and put on a ship, leaving forever, lost to the coming night. The body of the descendant of Adam was taken to a place called Atlantis. That, I believe, is Atlantis, but there is much debate over this. The body was to be destroyed by fire during a disturbance in the town. It was confused with another body. The body was sealed in a tomb outside the city. The story advised that the angels went to war over this, and one of them was banished from the earth, holding true to the old ways. It was said that truly holy person's body remains lifelike after death, and also the body smells like roses throughout the holy place. Because of this spell, the body did not decay or rot. The angel was banished to the earth and came to the tomb to retrieve the spell. This backfired, and the descendant of Adam was returned to life as a dragon or vampire and become one of the plagues that destroyed Aladdin.